Here we are. I was really excited to make this amazing baked feta pasta dish. We have all of our ingredients, our tomato, pasta oil, garlic, and seasonings. We're going to go ahead and put everything into this nice pot. I would typically use a baking dish, but this was already on my stovetop, and it is actually my favorite, my go-to pot. So we're just going to make sure that everything is included. Begin to add our chopped garlic. We're going to evenly sprinkle this throughout the dish. I was kind of concerned that the garlic would burn in the oil, but it did not once the tomatoes released its juices. It was perfect. Next, we're going to go ahead and add some olive oil. I didn't want to use too much. I saw a lot of recipes. It was just swimming in oil. So we're just going to add like a little under a quarter cup. Next, I'm going to add some fresh basil leaves. I'm going to leave the basil leaves whole. I typically like to cook with whole basil, and then I add fresh chopped basil at the end, and I will go ahead and fish these whole basil leaves out once it's done. Next, we're going to take this seasoning blend, just some Himalayan pink salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning. This does not need too much salt because the feta is really nice and briny and salty, so this is literally all the salt that I've added to this dish, and that's a quarter teaspoon and a half teaspoon of the Italian seasoning, quarter teaspoon of the salt and pepper. So the pasta is boiling, and I'm going to reserve 1 cup of the boiling water from the pasta for the end for our sauce. Put this in a 350-degree oven for about 30 to 45 minutes. Here we are ready to go ahead and mix and mash everything up. You can probably see those whole basil leaves in there. We're going to take those out eventually, but I'm going to begin to mash everything up with this giant fork, one of my favorite serving forks. So this is where that reserved pasta water comes into play. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and put that in to loosen up the sauce. So I found that using my masher helped better with this task because it kind of collected some of those tomato skins. So you'll see me move on to that. Now, after we've thoroughly incorporated this, added the pasta water, this is what you have. In 3, 2, there we go. So this is our sauce. I'm going to go ahead and add that gemelli pasta. And I cooked way too much, but this is what I was able to add. We're going to just go ahead and stir all of this together. It's coming together. It's really delicious. This is where you would actually adjust your seasoning if needed. If you wanted to add some more dried herbs, you could. If you wanted to add some more fresh cracked pepper, some cream would be great in this. If you had like some heavy cream, that would be great to add. But honestly, it didn't need anything. It was simple and it was delicious with just those ingredients. So here's some chopped basil that I'm adding at the end. And like I said, I typically like to add the basil at the end. Basil, when it's cooked, it turns like really black. It's not very appetizing. So I always just add a little of the fresh basil at the end in my pasta dishes. I love basil. This is very simple, beautiful, delicious. You can add any protein that you like to this, chicken or shrimp preferably, but it was an amazing dish. I'm really glad I saw it. I can't wait to do it again and add some different things. Hope you enjoyed, and I definitely hope that you make this, and stay tuned. We're going to be cooking a lot more for you guys. Toodles.